Guardians of the Sea, and we will be presenting the Hawksbill sea turtle, saving the world one turtle at a time.
Our mission is to contribute to the protection and conservation of the sea turtles as a species, in conjunction with the National Aquarium of the Dominican Republic. Our vision is to have a world where all sea turtles are free from extinction and human depredation. And our objectives are to educate as many people about sea turtles and work in conjunction with the National Aquarium of the Dominican Republic to protect the sea turtles of the country and to expand the knowledge about the Hawksbill sea turtle.
So with those three objectives, we started an action plan, and we're going to go over what we've already done and what we're planning to do. So for our first objective, which is educating as many people as possible about sea turtles, we do regular visits to the National Aquarium in which we present general information about turtles and their conservation and what are important to the environment to many schools that come visiting public and private schools. We also, for our second objective, which is working with the National Aquarium to conserve marine turtles, we've been working with the conservation, nourishment, and medical departments of the Dominican International Aquarium. This is a picture with the chief of conservation of the aquarium when we were establishing what we were going to do. So what we're planning. For our first objective, which is educating as many people as possible, we plan to visit additional schools, not just in the aquarium, but in going to school positions. To work in conjunction with the National Aquarium, we want to expand our operations and also participate in the spawning and nesting process and incubation of eggs. For our third objective, which is expanding scientific knowledge, while we were visiting the aquarium, we noticed that they have many expensive research, but it's not published anywhere. So we want to work on making it digital and so that anybody can access it. And so we also want to purchase tracking devices so that we can study turtle migration and just work in any experiments and any research that the aquarium is performing. So now we're going to show you a presentation that we have on the Hawksbill turtle. This is almost a replica of what we show to students everywhere. So you can familiarize yourself with the Hawksbill turtle and why it's important to tropical areas. So first is a short description. The Hawksbill turtle, its scientific name is Reproduction and Incubation, which comes from the Greek. Erepmo meaning row, chelis meaning turtle. So it's a turtle that rows with its extremities. And then imbricata means overlapping. So its shell is overlapping sections. It's a cold-blooded reptile. It remains in the sea during its whole life, except for females, which come out of the sea when they lay eggs. And it's one of the four turtle species that visit our island, amongst the loggerhead, the leatherback, and the green turtle. It lives in coral reefs, mangroves, and it can live up to more than 50 years. It measures around a meter, so around this size, and it weighs 200 pounds. It's critically endangered by the International Union of Conservation of Nature, and it's estimated to extinct by 2042.
The anatomy. I'm Ashton for those of you who don't know me. The anatomy of the Hawksbill sea turtle. They're wide and they have a long head that ends with a beak, which is used so they can get food that's not actually accessible, like in tiny places. They have an oval-shaped carapace that is overlapping. They have fins with two claws that are colored orange and brown. It has a yellow belly and it uses lungs to breathe and endurance breathing, approximately from 4 to 7 hours.
So this is a video so you can appreciate the turtle and its anatomy and how it behaves in the wild.
So you can see its claws. So their nourishment. The Hawksbill sea turtle, they are omnivores. Their favorite thing to eat are sponges, but they also eat jellyfishes, sea anemones, mollusks, seaweed, and the Portuguese man of war, which will be further explained by my colleague Rebecca Garcia. So, reproduction and incubation. Most of you guys may already be familiar with this process. The female Hawksbill sea turtle reaches the maturity between the ages of 20 to 40 years old. That's when they're mature enough to have babies. And the incubation process lasts about 1 to 3 hours. So it's basically the turtle emerges from the water, locates a site in the beach, digs up a hole, then it lays the eggs, and then dig back to the hole, goes back to the water, and 14 days later, they go back to that exact same site to lay more eggs. So the incubation period is from 52 to 74 days long. And this is a very interesting fact that when that egg reaches their maturity, they go back to that exact same site. When they're mature enough, that egg goes to that site to lay their eggs. And what determines the egg sex is that when the temperature is cold, it most likely will be a male turtle, but when it's hot, it will be a female. In the DR, we have nesting sites all around the regional coasts. In the north coast, we can find nesting sites in Puerto Plata or in Samana. In the east coast, we can find it in this little island called Isla Saona, which is the most important site of nesting in the DR, or in La Romana. And in the southwest, we can find it in Barahona and Pedernales. This is a video that was recorded in the north coast, Las Terrenas Luzon, Bayadera. This is the process. Usually, when the eggs are hatched, they do it at night, and so they follow the moonlight to the seashore, but it also happens at daylight, like right now. This is leatherback turtle.
So population. The Hawksbill turtles are mostly found in tropical waters, but they can also be found in subtropical waters. As I said before, they're critically endangered, and the population is declining every year. In the last 100 years, the population has decreased from over 100,000 turtles to only 8,000. This number is counted from female nesting turtles. This is the format they use for counting the turtle populations, because they're the ones responsible for promoting the expansion of the population. It's estimated that there's an 80% decline in population every three generations. So as you can see, it's a terrible condition for the Hawksbill turtles, and it's really hurting our ecosystem. Migration. When the Hawksbill turtles are young, they live around in ocean gyres, which are like centers of currents, and they always live in the surface, eating sponge, resting in seaweed and stuff like that. And when they grow, they move to deeper ecosystems such as coral reefs and seagrasses. They execute year-long migrations, and throughout their lives, they can move up to hundreds of thousands of kilometers, moving from feeding grounds to breeding grounds to nesting grounds. These are some cycles you can see. This is from a turtle in the Turks and Caicos Islands. You can see it moves through the Lesser Antilles, and then borders Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and then it goes back up to the Turks and Caicos. This migration takes about half a year. And then this is just a general migration of turtles moving from South America up to the Gulf of Mexico and Central America.
The Hawksbill turtle plays an important role on the environment. For example, the sponges that grow on coral reefs are regulated by this animal. When the sponges are overpopulated, then the coral will face negative consequences because they cannot grow. Corals hold 25% of the fish population. So we need to protect them. If corals cease to exist because of the lack of turtles, then the fishing economy as well as tourism will decline. Also,
Corals are the reason why we have sandy beaches. In the Dominican Republic, we have beaches such as Las Terrenas, in which there isn't enough sand, and so the ocean is taking more space, and the streets and the trees are falling. This is all because there isn't turtles and corals, and so there isn't sand. As well, corals protect our coast from waves. Also, the eggs that do not reach their maturity or hatch by any natural cause are left behind to sustain terrestrial populations such as crabs. As well, the Hawksbill helps regulate jellyfish populations. Also, the Portuguese man of war, the animal that mentioned Ashton, is an animal that looks like a jellyfish, but it is actually a colony of organisms working together. This species is very, very venomous. Its tentacles are about 75% as powerful as the cobra venom, and it has sometimes taken human lives. We have seen this animal in the Dominican Republic, but we have the Hawksbill who enjoys eating it, so that's a good thing for us. As you can see, the marine ecosystem is highly connected. If the Hawksbill goes extinct, then many negative consequences will occur.
And that makes a perfect segue to my topic, which is threats that the Hawksbill faces. And there are many threats that this turtle has to face in its short lifetime. According to the Worldwide Fund for Nature, the Hawksbill has declined over 80% in the last century. People from low-income backgrounds sell or eat the eggs because one of the following three reasons. One, they were not educated, so they don't know the importance of the wildlife that they are threatening. They don't know that this is an endangered species. So again, you have to understand that these are people from low income and low education backgrounds. Two, they do not have enough money, so they take the eggs in order to feed their families. Some of these people may know that they are harming an endangered animal, but they don't have the money to buy food that can supplement for their family. And three, they buy the eggs of the Hawksbill because they have been told that it has special healing powers, so that it can make you look more attractive. If you make it can make you look more attractive if you make it into like a facial cream, or it can make you look younger. And this is obviously a fraud. Most people who participate in this are in desperate circumstances. They want to look attractive, or they need to sell this product in order to make money for their families. Another threat that the Hawksbill sea turtle faces is habitat defacement and destruction. The commercialization of the coastal areas has affected the habitat of the Hawksbill sea turtles vastly. Because many companies have created hotels on the beaches where there are traditional nesting grounds for the Hawksbill sea turtle. Therefore, when they go to lay their eggs, there are a lot of buildings and their nesting grounds, and they can't find a place that is adequate for their eggs to lay their eggs. If turtles are not nesting population, they cannot expand, and the Hawksbill will become extinct. The contamination of the ecosystem and global warming is another threat that the Hawksbill sea turtle faces. The marine habitat of the turtle is being damaged by pollution, and pollution is mainly caused by us humans. For example, if we throw a plastic bag into the ocean, the Hawksbill sea turtle confuses this plastic bag as a jellyfish, and they'll eat it. And this is bad for them, because if they confuse their food for something that is bad for them, then they're constantly going to keep eating something that isn't nutritional for them. It's like if someone put poison in the food that you eat every day, you're going to die. A large amount of the pollution is the pollution that we cause when we throw things away and into the ground, on the ground or into the ocean. Therefore, not just as Dominicans or citizens of our countries, but as global citizens, we have to make an impact and reduce, reuse, and recycle, and all of the things that we are doing for our environment. We have to know that as global citizens, things that we don't throw away or things that we don't reduce or things that we don't recycle are going to have an impact, not just in your country, but around the world. The Carey-based commerce is the biggest threat that the Hawksbill sea turtle faces. It is the craftsmanship of the carapace, which is when you take the carapace or the shell of the turtle and make this into an art form. This is when you take the carapace and you meld it into jewelry, ornaments. Some occasions you can use it for a hairbrush or sunglasses, and this is illegal. They're particularly threatened by wildlife trade. So, for example, the main people who demand this type of materials and these type of jewelries and ornaments that are created from the carapace is China. So China demands it, and the Caribbean supplies it, and this is an illegal trade. The illegal trafficking of turtle-based products has occurred in the Dominican Republic. For example, in 2006, there was a study that showed that 23,000 carapace-based products, Hawksbill-based products, were sold here. This is illegal, and we are still selling it. This is still going on, even if there are local and international laws. And one of these international laws that has helped the Hawksbill is CITES, or the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, which is really wordy, but basically what this means is that it's an international law and an international agreement between governments that ensure that the international trade in specimens of wild fauna and flora, in other words, animals and plants that are indigenous to those countries, cannot be traded if they harm the animal. So if we're going to make a commercial product off of these animals, then it cannot be harmful to those animals. For example, scuba diving is a good and positive commercialization of the Hawksbill sea turtle. But if we make a carapace, if we use the carapace and kill it and make sunglasses with it, then we're just going to keep degrading the population.
How can we help? We can help by reducing the trash output. Also, by not buying any turtle-based products. Traveling through the sea responsibly. When we see the coral reefs, we can go far away with the boats because we can do harmful things and then kill the turtles. Also, we can support organizations that help the organizations based on helping sea programs to protect them and spread the word about this issue that concerns all of us and the coral reef population of the coast.
Now, this is a video by the International Union of Conservation of Nature that has been spread around the whole world for conserving Hawksbill turtles. Thank you. I have a game prepared for you about Ashton's gonna elaborate.
So this is Myrtle. Meet Myrtle the turtle. Let's help her save the Hawksbill. Are you guys ready? First question is, which of these turtles migrates to the Dominican Republic along with the Hawksbill turtle? Correct. Correct. Hawksbills, loggerheads, leatherbacks, and green turtles come to the DR. A friendly current helps Myrtle get closer to the beach where she will lay eggs. Next question. The Hawksbill turtle is a
Omnivore.
a what?
Omnivore.
That's right. Hawksbill eat both plants and algae, and animals like sponges. Myrtle finds friends to help her reach the shore. Which of these is not one of the Hawksbill's favorite foods?
Sardines.
You're paying attention.
Way to go. Hawksbill turtles don't eat any kind of fish. A friendly waves help Myrtle get closer to her nesting beach. What is the Hawksbill's estimated date of extinction?
2042.
Correct. Unfortunately, if we do nothing, we won't have any more Hawksbills by 2042. The guardians of the sea come to see Myrtle swim. Male Hawksbill never return to the shore.
True.
They said false.
They say false. It's true. Come on, Myrtle needs you. A crowd threatens to stop Myrtle from nesting. It is true, but it was that false. That's right. While females return to the shore to lay eggs, males always stay in the ocean. The Coast Guard sets up a protected area for Myrtle to spawn. The Hawksbill turtle is a
This is to be
Good job! Hawksbills, like all turtles, are cold-blooded reptiles. Myrtle leaves her eggs so that they can start their own journey. Next question. At what age do Hawksbill reach maturity?
20 and 40.
15.
Just
That's
it's more
right.
fun if you get the question wrong.
At age 20 to 40, Hawksbills are ready to spawn. Myrtle's eggs are starting to hatch. Where do Hawksbill live and spawn?
What did he say?
I don't know what any
Deep ocean.
Hawksbill live in tropical seas all over the world. The turtles have finally hatched and are coming up to the surface. What is the estimated spawning female population?
8,000.
Somebody say
80,000.
Somebody raise your hand. Somebody one answer.
80,000.
That's wrong.
How many?
2,000.
Oh,
Guys.
8,000.
Oh, but I said 8,000.
Pero fui yo la única que
dije
No, I said 8,000.
You said 80, no?
No, I said 8,000.
Well, uno dijo 8.
No,
I
so
said
8.
Oh, okay. Is that correct? Well done. Unfortunately, there are only 8,000 egg-laying female turtles left. The turtles are peacefully making it into the ocean. Which of these is one of the Hawksbill habitats?
Yeah, that's right.
Correct. Hawksbill live in mangroves, coral reefs, and other ocean areas. The moonlight is stronger and brighter than ever, so the turtles are guided to the water. How many eggs do Hawksbills lay in each nest?
90 to 140.
100 to 300.
What? 90 to 100. Correct. Great. Hawksbills lay from 90 to 140 eggs in each nest. The Coast Guard helps guide the baby turtles into the ocean. How many miles can Hawksbills migrate?
1,000 miles.
500.
2,000.
Okay, put it wrong.
One of the turtles eats a plastic bag and almost chokes.
Okay, so what's the right answer?
Is it 23?
What? No, it's 2,000.
Excellent. Turtles can migrate up to 2,000 kilometers from feeding to nesting grounds. An increase in jellyfish population means more food for the turtles. Which is not fair for the Hawksbills. Increase in I don't hear. What?
Increase of
Magnificent. An increase in sponge population means more food for the Hawksbill. The baby turtles are now adults and are going back to the shore to lay eggs. How can we help save turtles?
Not the word.
Way to go! Let's save our turtles. The turtles are able to lay eggs peacefully. Do we love turtles?
Yes.
All of the above.
People said yes. Wow! Myrtle made it. The new turtles are born, and the cycle continues. Myrtle's family will survive for the generations to come. Congratulations, the Hawksbills Any comments, questions?
No, yeah.
Like, since a mother lays the eggs and then goes back to the ocean, do they ever, like, meet?
No. After the turtle goes back to the ocean, after it hatches, just goes back to the ocean and lives an independent life.
But it's really interesting how, like, once they're born, they go back to the shore where they were born and they lay their own eggs there.
Yeah.
So if you track, like, for example, if today some turtles are born, then you can count up to, like, 20 years and then you'll find the same turtle laying eggs.
Do they have any predators?
Yes.
Yes.
Mostly humans.
The humans and all the birds and the fishes, because when they enter the water, the carapace is very fragile, and the fishes tend to eat them, as well as the birds.
When they're more mature, not many predators, but mostly humans, but when they're young, anything. Anything else?
Of the solutions you gave, which one do you think is the most important for us?
Well, it's just spreading the word. As more people that know, more people can take action. Anything else?
Okay, we're talking about the Carey.
What? This is the cat.
Yeah, this is the Carey turtle.
What material does the carapace have that we can make some?
What?
Just the carapace in itself. It's kind of like how they use like rhinoceros horns and stuff like that to make it like as ivory and stuff like that.
It's also
They also use it for house
Yeah,
decoration.
they hang up the shell, the carapace on the wall. It's like the zebra carpets. It has the same kind of value. Like people, they view it the same way. It's rare, so they want.
Like relating the carapace fact, I forgot to say that it is from 90 to 140 eggs that they spawn, but it also depends on the carapace length of the mother. Like if it has a very long carapace, it most likely will have more eggs.
An interesting fact is that you can tell the age of the turtle. Just like trees, the shell of the turtle, you can see like the rings in it for each year.
Any more questions?
Thank you for coming to our presentation.
And spread the word.